Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host JT Wheeler with another edition of the History of Comics podcast, this time an edition of the classics with X-Men, Days of Future Past by Chris Claremont and John Byrne, which is basically Uncanny X-Men number 141 to 142, published back in January and February of 1981, and is just a classic story that's one of the most iconic of the X-Men series, in which a adult Kitty Pryde from the future, what was the future of 2013, the classic aging, is sent back in the past to her younger self to prevent the Mystique and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from assassinating Senator Kelly that will set off the Sentinel program that will nearly wipe out the mutant race in the future. Just a great classic storyline. There's also a great introduction to the young Kitty Pryde, who shows up to as a young teenager, because she becomes one of the new teenage characters as the other X-Men have gotten older. Which, Marvel, they allowed their characters to age slowly. According to the Marvel unofficial guide, is that for every 4 years in the real world, it's 1 year in Marvel Universe, which explains why, Peter Parker, being a teenager in 1960s, is now supposed to be around 28 right now. But you see your characters age slowly, but it's just a classic book. Claremont does some great writing, does a great job playing with the time travel angle. Some bit dated work, but still holds up great, especially the other storylines today. And John Byrne did some great action-packed art. And it's a story that holds up, especially not just for the story itself, but also its larger impact. Like I said, it's a great introduction for Kitty Pryde, but also one of the side characters in the future storyline becomes a major character later on is Rachel Summers, who is the futuristic teen daughter of Jean Grey and Scott Summers' Cyclops, who is now a big character today, and so forth. So if you're looking for one of the great X-Men stories, you can't go wrong with X-Men Days of Future Past. It's clearly a classic by any measure, so definitely check that out.
More positive than a New Day pancake. More fun than a super kick party. It's the wrestling podcast from the host, who is the hammer swinging, burrito eating, well, you know the rest, of Thunder Talk. Sexy Thor! It's the Ring of Thunder, found in the Thunderverse and among the great podcasts of the ESO network.
And now is November 2nd, 2023, time for the favorite comic of the week. Nightwing, number 107 by Tom Taylor and Steve Byrne, which finds Nightwing reuniting with his ex-girlfriend Beatrice, who back when he had brain surgery from a failed assassination by KGB back in the Batman days, he took on this new persona, Rick, and she was his former love interest until he finally got his memory back and became Nightwing Dick Grayson again. But now he's discovered that not only does she have a connection to the package that he left in the hole, which is this mysterious thing where Parsons and Bloodhaven are left, but she apparently runs it, and so he goes off on an adventure with her to finally retrieve this package and also figure out what happened during his time as Rick, because he has some missing part of his memories he's trying to get back. This is a great issue that further expands not only on Nightwing's past, that is particularly that period when he was Rick, but also the Bloodhaven itself, as we actually learn the origin of Bloodhaven's name and how the whole has a connection back to the town itself. And Beatrice is an interesting character. You're not sure if you can trust her or not, especially since, he's going off Barbara Gordon, his girlfriend. Of course, Batgirl doesn't seem to trust her, but he needs to find out about his past. And it's matched great by Steve Byrne's very colorful art, which has a lot of fun with the pirate motif. Let's just say Nightwing gets into a very classic costume, and it's hilarious. And looks to be a fun ride and a little bit more personal one, as he gets into a darker period of his life. And this is easily not even consistently one of DC's most enjoyable books, hands down, so definitely worth checking out. And with that, we'll conclude this episode of The Classics. Join me again next week for another episode. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. If you can, check out X-Men Days of Future Past, because that is a true classic.